087, descent for direct approach 07. Hotel Oscar Echo, Laufenburg 4000 feet, we are joined downwind runway 07. Hotel Mike Foxtrot, sector north 3000 feet, joining downwind runway 07.
Hotel Lima Quebec lining up runway 07 for circuits.
Farm, Box direct 07. Hotel Mike Foxtrot, vergeben auf Starboard runway 07. 087, long final runway 07 for full stop. 2087, final 07. Hotel Oscar Echo, sector north 3000 feet.
Start off with lining up behind crosswind.
Hotel Lima Quebec, beginning of downwind for runway 07, touch and go.
South around 60.
Hotel 87, vacated.
LSZI Hotel Oscar
Hotel Mike Foxtrot, turning final runway 07 for full stop. Hotel Mike Foxtrot, runway vacated. Hotel Oscar Echo, we'll join downwind runway 07.
Hotel Lima Quebec, turning base runway 07, touch and go. Hotel Lima Quebec, turning final runway 07, touch and go.
Hotel Oscar Echo, begin downwind runway 07.
So what I'm trying to do today are wheel landings. This is my third time doing it, second time solo. There was a bit of a sideways motion, but I managed to get on top of it with the rudders. But that seemed to persist to the takeoff. I don't know if there's a bit of a crosswind, but the windsock is pretty much dead. And I didn't feel anything coming in.
Hotel Oscar Echo, turning base runway 07. Hotel Oscar Echo, final runway 07 for touch and go.
Oh no, touch and go. Now I've got a faster airplane with me in the circuit. So what I might try to do is a short landing, or short approach. Hotel Lima Quebec is at the beginning of downwind for runway 07, touch and go, and we'll do a short circuit. Now for this I've got to stay on just on this side of that valley up there. And I am going to need to lose altitude. Hotel Lima, Quebec, turning short final, runway 07, touch and go.
Hotel Oscar Echo, downwind runway 07.
Too bad. I think that sideways drift was just the right turning tendency. A bit more proactive on the rudders. With the wheel landing, the idea in essence is that you don't stall the airplane, you fly it down to the ground, but you want to have almost zero descent rate when you touch the ground, otherwise you'll bounce. And so the real skill is to get that very low descent rate. A little bit of power helps. And then as soon as it's stable on the ground, you push forward on the stick to keep it on the ground to reduce the angle of attack. Otherwise, if you increase the angle of attack, she'll climb up again.
Hotel Oscar Echo, turning base runway 07.
I'm by no means an expert at this. As I say, it's only my second time doing it solo. Not something that's very commonly used here in Switzerland, but you have much better visibility down the runway, so it's easier to see drift. And because you've got that little bit of power, you've got a little bit more rudder authority. So I'm actually finding it a little easier than the three-point landing, because with the high angle of attack, it's hard to see down the runway, so it's hard to see how much drift there is.
Hotel Oscar Echo, final runway 07, full stop.
Okay, I'll do a proper one this time, because he's now landing. So I'm almost thinking, because it's easier to see the drift, and it seems to be easier to eliminate that drift before the touchdown, that the wheel landings might be a better approach for landing on pavement, where the wheels tend to stick more to the runway surface. But it certainly does require a greater runway length, so for the short runways that a lot of the airports have here in Switzerland, it's maybe not ideal. Hotel Lima, Quebec, mid downwind, runway 07, touch and go.
Hotel Oscar Echo, runway vacated.
This altitude, there seems to be a little bit of drift towards the runway, so it seems like there's a bit of a tailwind in the direction of the runway, but I think down near the ground there's no wind at all, so it's better, I think, flying away from the sun than flying into the sun. Hotel Lima, Quebec, turning final, runway 07, touch and go. Bit of wind bouncing me around at this altitude. It was a little bit, what do you call it? Wind couldn't seem to make up its mind what it wanted to do. I felt like I was getting pushed to the left and then pushed to the right and then pushed to the left. Maybe I was overcorrecting. Now the problem is my first landings are always perfect because I don't overthink them, and then as the time goes on I tend to think more and more and the landings get worse and worse, so let's see. If I wasn't overcorrecting last time. Hotel Lima, Quebec, turning final, runway 07, touch and go. Nicely done. Hotel Lima, Quebec, turning final, runway 07, touch and go. Perfect. Maybe there is a slight crosswind. We try and do a 3-point landing. I think the final landing I'm going to do is a wheel landing, so I want to finish one off. With the wheel landing you want to come in a little bit fast. With the 3-pointer you want to come in slow. Both approaches I do the approach at 65, but I'll do kind of a pre-flare with the 3-pointer to lose some speed before the runway. Hotel Lima, Quebec, turning final, runway 07, touch and go. Now high approach works probably better with this one because it gives you a high descent rate, which gives you great potential when you do the flare to lose airspeed. But don't want to be too high. I think we might be a little bit too high, so I'm going to do a bit of a forward slip, lose altitude. I think it worked better, the loss in altitude. Niggy showed me how quickly it could lose altitude, but that was with the two of us in the plane. Alright, I don't need to put her right at the end of the runway, so. Bit high, but it worked. There's that crosswind. There's definitely crosswind coming in from the left. Okay, I think this will be the last one then. We'll try and do a wheel landing to a stop. See how it goes. Last time I did this, I nearly used the entire runway, so. Hotel Lima, Quebec, turning final, runway 07, full stop. Oh, shit. Bounce to recover to a 3-pointer. So you didn't get a chance to practice. Oh well, c'est la vie. But at least you learned that having the ability to do all these different things gives you options. Hotel Lima, Quebec, runway vacated.